Sisu, handled by Joey, our last dog in the regional championship today, the female in season. In the search for the helper, initially she directs to blind 2, so she doesn't show us a search to 1. Our handler is able to get the dog back under control and show us a search of the remaining blinds, but it's a high insufficient exercise. In the hold and bark, there's a light touch when she comes into the blind. The barking is very continuous. It has a good overall level of focus and intensity on the helper throughout the routine. As the handler comes in to pick the dog up, the dog slightly looks to the handler and it disrupts the overall quality of the guarding. The call out is executed correctly, but she should be a little more calm in the basic position. It's a good exercise. Prevention of the escape.
Wait, we're not ready yet.
She gets to the down position correctly. She kind of goes down automatically, but she remains calm until released for the prevention of the escape. Here she's very fast into the man. The grip is very full and powerful. But the transitions on most of the gripping exercises from fight to out need to be more clear in the dog's head. There's some chewing and the fight is still going on as the dog is coming off the sleeve. But this escape still remained in the lowest of very good. In the defense, the dog immediately counters the man. The grip is full. The dog is a little vocal during the pressure phase of stick contact. And then again, we need to see a more clear transition from fight to out. The dog's kind of barking and vocalizing as it's coming off into the guarding. The guarding is then continuous, but we have a couple of bumps and bothers as the handler approaches. It's a good exercise. There's a back transport. There's slightly too much distance, and the dog needs to show better control on the handler. He has to give a couple extra commands to get the dog back close to him. It's an insufficient exercise. Attack out of the back transport. The dog is very fast to counter the helper's threat. The grip here is very full on the left side, and the right side is a little bit angled, just slightly shallow. You see very good fight under the pressure from the dog, but in the transition to out, again, it needs to be more clear from fight to out. The guarding shows very continuous barking here, but the handler requires handler forgot that the dog fell slightly out of position when he was moving away from the helper, and I think that's what threw you off, thinking about a side transport. So then he started to head upfield, and then I redirected him to a side transport. There's no point deduction because he forgot that moment, but it was the dog's reaction during that time, behavior during that time, getting into the side transport, and then it required a couple of extra verbal commands, help to get the side transport completed. It's the lowest of satisfactory. Secondary obedience downfield, the dog needs to be more focused on the handler, required some extra help from the handler to get it all the way downfield. Should remain slightly more calm until released. When released, comes downfield very hard, very fast. Unfortunately, it didn't make good solid contact with the sleeve, came off, immediately re-engaged. Here the grip should have been just a little bit more full. The out on this one was actually one of the better transitions to out. And then the guarding should have a little higher overall level of intensity and focus, but it's a high insufficient. In the final defense, the dog immediately engaged the helper. The grip here should be slightly more calm during the pressure phase, but it's very full. The transition to out on this one is better than it was in the first gripping exercises. The guarding should have a little higher overall level of intensity and remain focused on the helper until the handler picks it all the way up. And then in the side transport, it requires a little extra help from the handler to complete the side transport. And the dog's position in the side transport is slightly incorrect, a little bit forging and crowding over on the helper. It's a good exercise. Courage and hardness is pronounced today. High satisfactory work, 77.
Thank you.
Let's talk about that before we have the rule book whenever you have time.
That's my first 3.
That's your first time? That's your first Shih-Tzu? Or IGP, IPO, whatever we're calling it this month? Congratulations.
Every phase, just not on the same day with my dog and our for 10 years.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Good girl.
Good job, dude.
Thank you, everybody.
My first one.